Happy Tuesday, all you bitches out there. What's going on, dumpster fireys? Y'all hanging out like Larsa Pippen with her new best friend. All right, let's cut this shit off here.
That hurts, man.
At least we know her vagina still works. She's had 4 kids with Scott, and at least her shit still works. You know, obviously she likes to accommodate as many dicks as she can and as many NBA players. She's like the bubble in Orlando. Just fit as many NBA players as she can. All right, we got a special guest with her, the Flightmike. Is that how you'd like to be? Is that your preferred nomenclature?
Oh, man. You know, I was actually thinking about this. Am I flight mic? Am I microphone? Am I flight microphone? You could call me anything you want. It doesn't matter.
All right, bitch ass motherfucker. Welcome to the show. That's how we're starting it off. No, I think I'll just call you Mike, because
Works. That's what most people go for.
All right, Mike is an NBA and an NFL expert. Has 2 channels. What, 700K between the 2 of them in subscribers, something like that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're killing it on this platform, and we're very honored to have you here with us tonight. So, if you've never seen one of our shows, which most of our guests don't, and it's nothing against you, but if you've ever seen one of the shows, and I don't know if you need a link to the show tonight.
I have it open.
Okay. We do a Tiermaker behind us. We go through all the games, 14 games or 15 games minus the Steelers and the fucking Ravens. And basically we just rank every team and we talk shit the entire time. One thing we do want to talk about before we get started is the absolute hypocrisy of the NFL. Basically, they told Denver, go fuck yourselves. We don't care if all 4 of your quarterbacks are inactive for this week. You play this game. But the Steelers and the Ravens, that has playoff implications. We're going to bend over backwards for the Ravens.
They should have delayed the Broncos game by a couple guys.
At least and none of the quarterbacks tested positive other than what's his name?
Driscoll. I think it's Driscoll.
Driscoll. Right. But because Locke and Bortles and who's the other guy?
Brett Rippon. Yes,
Rippon did not wear their masks, which scientifically, there's no evidence that says, that they would have been, could have caught COVID-19, but they all tested negative, and they made them all sit. But the Ravens have 23 players, and they're like, whatever you need, guys, whatever you need. We'll push the game back. Whatever you guys need to field a team. Mm-hmm. And they also would not let Denver sign their coach to play quarterback, even though
they wouldn't sign a coach. They couldn't sign anybody. Like they couldn't even bring in, everyone was bitching about, they should bring in Kaepernick. Yeah. It's like Kaepernick couldn't come in because of COVID protocol. He wouldn't have been able to play for a couple days.
Bullshit. So Mike, go ahead.
I just assumed that the NFL was just trying to pay the Saints back for shafting them all these years.
Maybe, but the Saints were gifted a win. I mean, that was the easiest W I've ever seen in my life. Like, Kendall Hinton had no shot. Like, it is so hard to play quarterback in the NFL, and then to be thrown in there 2 years after you've played any type of quarterback. That's like saying, all right, we got a World Series game. Or
they were making him throw deep, which doesn't make sense. If you're going to make a new guy play quarterback, you keep it simple.
Wow.
Short passes, check down, slants, nothing that insane. Make it easy for him. Denver really didn't do that.
I honestly think Broncos fans need to stop being babies, because this is exactly the same thing as thrusting Ben DiNucci in under center for the Dallas Cowboys.
True.
Okay, Jerry.
All right, yeah. All right, we got to stand here. Okay. No, well, at least DiNucci is a quarterback. The thing is with Shermer, he thinks he's smarter than everybody there. He's like, oh, they'll least expect Kendall Hinton to throw it deep. Guys are going to be wide open. No.
Kendall they're blanketed. They brought in his son for the practice squad, though.
Oh, well, that was nice.
As a quarterback.
Yeah, well, when you see like a wide receiver, when they do those gadget plays, they can barely throw the football, right? Like they're you're just watching them like, oh, that does not look like a pretty NFL throw. Hinton didn't do that bad, but still.
You can't really bitch at him because he didn't have a shot. It's like, okay, he's 1 for 9.
No.
Okay, not a big deal. He wasn't expected to. You don't have any game prep. It's not like a Mitch Trubisky situation where it's like you spend years preparing for the quarterback craft and you just don't develop.
Mitch Trubisky, when we get to the Bears, Mitch Trubisky's NFL career is over. Is it not?
It's not over. He's going to backup.
What do you see?
Honestly, it's pretty ideal if you ask me. Like, he gets his top 2 pick money from the Bears, and he looks like a decent game manager that could literally just be a backup to any team. And honestly, if you ask me, I think backup quarterback is probably the best position to play in the NFL in terms of the amount of work that you need to do in return for the amount of money you receive.
The thing with a backup quarterback, though, is you need to be pretty much ready every game. Because look at a situation like, say, Andy Dalton or Ben DiNucci.
Yeah, but
you have a big injury, you are in.
You get to look clean on the sideline, wear that baseball cap, have that clipboard ready to go, like, and then pat whoever the starter is on the back, and then and you just don't actually have to get hit. Sounds like I'm agreeing with Mike. Like, backup quarterback. I mean, you get all the pussy, right? Because you're handsome Mitch Trubisky, and you get to go to all the parties, right? And then they're like, "Oh, what are you? Oh, I'm the backup quarterback. Oh, so you're like the vice president if the president dies, right?" And
pretty much. And like, let's be honest with each other. Yeah, in an ideal world, these backup quarterbacks are ready to go, ready to jump on any opportunity that's thrown their way, and ready to seize the opportunity to become a legitimate starting quarterback. But I really highly doubt that if you're a backup quarterback, at least an average backup quarterback in the NFL, that you're looking over the playbook saying, hey, I got to be ready just in case my time to shine comes. I'm sure there are quarterbacks that do that, and those are the ideal backup QBs. But in a real world, I don't think each backup QB does that.
There's some guys that are like that just want it so bad, and they're just ready to get in, and they're just pros. But yeah, most of them are just like, I'm here. I know that I'm not going to get in, and I'm just, once I get thrust in, I'll just do whatever the 3 plays or whatever reps that they told me to do in practice. Because it does matter. First rep practice or first team reps matter, right? And what is it? The backup gets like 2 of those. They're like, oh yeah, here you go. It's like being on a baseball team. They're like, all right, take a couple cuts for batting practice. We know you're not going to play.
Exactly.
You suck. All right. Let's read some supers before we get into this mess that was an NFL week. Taylor Phillips starts us off with the line for $4.99. The Lions also need a way better player development system because they haven't developed Tabor, Okuda, Ragnow, and others. Yep, Matt Patricia finally.
A hack. And I said this for years.
Where does he resurface? At a bazaar?
Probably in a Patriot like clone area or the Patriots themselves.
I could see him and Josh McDaniels putting the band back together again. They're hanging out with Bill Belichick as his little stooges. And then Bill looks over him. He's like, don't you ever think about leaving me? Have you already proven how trash you are? That's basically it. Hey, what's up?
I don't think Patriots fans even want Matt Patricia back. His defenses are garbage.
Do you think anyone wants the Lions' job?
if you throw enough money around, they will. You know who I think gets the job, and I know Lions fans are going to hate this? Jim Harbaugh.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because look, I mean, he's been in exile in Michigan. He might want a new shot. Detroit realizes, hey, Jim Harbaugh is a really good coach at the NFL. Look what he did in San Francisco.
Jim Harbaugh.
Detroit fans are going to fucking hate it, but Jim Harbaugh might be the guy.
But
now, personally, my pick would be Robert Saleh. I love him. I think he'd be an
yeah.
excellent head coach. He's my number one, even ahead of Bieniemy.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I think Harbaugh might be the choice for them.
That's the one thing where Salah gets the job, a good job before Bieniemy, and everyone's going to be like, "That's bullshit." But I think that Salah gets a job. Bieniemy 100% will have a job in the NFL next year. 100%. He's the hottest. He is Sean McVay. Like, he had lunch with Sean McVay on 3 consecutive days. That's how hot of a prospect.
Oh, and not only that, but he also was the carrying buddy for Andy Reid, which is also hot commodity.
The other thing we're finding out a lot about the Eagles is Frank Reich was the genius and Doug Peterson not so much.
I've been saying that since the beginning of the year. Look at how many times they've gone for 2 in awful formations. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. Jared Froman, the most incompetent coaches / GMs get fired. The more incompetent and aloof the Johnsons look for not firing Adam Gase. They are still high on bath salts. Yeah. I don't know.
I think they're just waiting for the end of the year at this point because they realize, fuck it, the season's lost. Like, that's why Jacksonville still hasn't fired Doug Marrone. It's like, whatever, just give him a couple more weeks.
Yeah. Why do we, if we go out and we're going to have to pay him and whoever gets elevated to interim coach, like, it's a money thing right now, right?
Yeah, I thought Quinn and Patricia would have been held out to the end of the year, but, like, I don't think they had a choice with how they got fucking smacked on Thanksgiving.
It doesn't make sense to fire someone mid-season if you're terrible. I guess if you want to bring in a coach with a different philosophy, but it still doesn't matter. This year's lost. You're not gonna. The only thing you're gonna ruin is morale, which is already down. What
do you think?
Well, I mean, in the case of Patricia, I think it may have raised morale.
Yeah. What were you about to say, Mike?
What do you think Sam Darnold's fate is going to be if they go winless?
Gone.
Yeah.
He's going to get traded for like a 4th or a 5th round pick.
He could go the way
he
of
has been
Trubisky.
ruined.
Yeah. Or the
so
Mariota.
sad.
He's going the way of the Mariota.
Not even Mariota. At least Mariota has a successful year, dude. He's going to go the way of maybe a Josh Rosen.
Golly.
I don't think Josh Rosen quite that bad because Darnold has arm talent.
It's hard to believe that Sam Darnold and Josh Allen were mentioned in the same breath. Just last year as equals.
Well, they were
peers.
both like flashes.
Peers. Josh Allen elevated. Sam Darnold opposite of elevated.
That's what coaching structure does. Buffalo is trying to build a culture. They're building structure. They're allowing him to develop. Now he's had a rough couple weeks, but he's doing a hell of a lot better than Sam Darnold is. You want to know why? Because the Jets are trash. They are just like bad. And it's not even like, like the typical dysfunction. It's a malignant dysfunction which destroys everything around them.
True.
The craziest part was I remember in that draft, everyone viewed Josh Allen as like the biggest risk as a quarterback.
Well, because he had inaccuracy issues in college.
Yeah, he was seen as like the most raw, and it was like him and then Sam Darnold and Lamar Jackson were kind of seen as like a similar type of risk. But Sam Darnold was more on the side of turnover issues. Josh Allen was more on the side of complete inaccuracy.
Josh Rosen was the safe pick.
But McDermott has done a great job with limiting Allen and then also playing the offense to his strengths, which is, unleash that hose, but when you need it, buddy, when you need it, not every time. And I think he's been managed well. Peterson with the Eagles has done the opposite. He is ruining wins. He is. Oh, dude,
he's destroyed. I mean, the dude has no offensive line.
No.
The only person that's healthy from the start of the year or last year is Jason Kelce.
Yeah.
It's like Andre Dillard's out. Brandon Brooks is out. Lane Johnson's out. Jason Peters is old and injured as fuck.
Even then, Kelsey's misadventure snapping the ball this weekend. Holy fuck.
Yeah, he's dealing with injuries too. He's on his twilight. Carson Wentz has no receivers. His best receiver is a waiver claim from Detroit. Alshon Jeffrey's lost a step. Greg Ward's a backup quarterback. Zach Ertz, maybe, if he's healthy. Goddard, if he's healthy.
Goddard's
maybe.
barely healthy.
Like Arcega-Whiteside's fucking trash. Rager's trash. What does he have? I know everyone's blaming Wentz, but Wentz is not really the issue in Philly. The issue is coaching, line, personnel. Now, Wentz has had some issues, but I think it's more confidence-based. If he's running for his goddamn life, his form's fucked.
I actually was recording a video about this today, and I was trying to figure out how much % of this is actually Carson Wentz's fault. And bear in mind, unfortunately, I bear the burden of being a Cowboy fan. So I kind of went in there with like an open mind. And if you look at his statistics, like a quarterback doesn't go from just throwing 7 interceptions in like back-to-back years, being damn near the MVP, to just being a horrific player. And I think the number one culprit here, if you want to like throw Peterson aside, would probably be his general manager, Howie Roseman. If you look at their past draft picks, like Tree was saying, like they drafted Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson in a draft that was really deep at the wide receiver position. If you really wanted to make sure you get another wide receiver, instead of drafting Jalen Hurts with your 2nd round pick, you go back and you get another wide receiver. Even Michael Pittman Jr. would be acceptable at the 2nd round.
I think Claypool was Claypool still? No, I don't think Claypool was still available.
Yeah, the Wentz's big problem though is the hero ball and trying to extend plays, and he refuses to he doesn't do himself any favors. Like, I agree with you 100%. Howie Roseman has not done him any favors, but Wentz does not intelligently always make the right read or the right play. He doesn't take sacks. He just he throws into coverage. I mean, his interceptions this year have been terrible.
He forces balls. Terrible. And I think a lot of it also has to do, though, as he doesn't have his receivers.
That's true. Yeah. He doesn't have his receivers, but some guys make things work, without weapons,
But you need to make sure that they put in positions to succeed. Mm-hmm. Doug Peterson has not changed his offense to suit.
No, not at all. And they're running weird concepts and weird situations. Go watch the Brett Coleman video on Carson Wentz, and you'll have a clearer picture of why of what Wentz is doing to himself is so the problem.
I watched some of that video.
I haven't seen it yet, unfortunately.
And when I was watching it, I said, okay, most of these seem to be as a result of the situation he's put in. Like, he doesn't have an offensive line that could cause the trigger happiness, because bear in mind, last year he took the most sacks of his entire career, 37. He already has 46. He already has 46 on the year.
Yeah, he was on the ground most times. And what I don't understand about Peterson is, okay, you're going to think about putting in Jalen Hurts. He puts in Jalen Hurts for 2 plays and a false start. Then you go bring back Carson Wentz. He immediately gets sacked, and you don't go back to Hurts. What the hell are you doing?
That was a comical situation.
Like, what's your game plan here? Are you trying to confuse the defense with a 2-quarterback set? Just put both of them in. Why not?
The other thing,
you don't know who's going to throw the ball.
With Hurts prior
to
that,
he is overthinking everything.
He is
so goddamn hard. It's even in his 2-point conversions. It's like, keep it fucking simple. That 2-point conversion at the end of the game, simple draw play up the middle. It's not like any of these trick plays or run pass options or anything stupid like that. It's just simple, easy, effective. That's all you have to do. Doug Peterson is, he's on the round to get fired. I'd have fired him immediately today, because that was degrading.
Yeah, I might have to do a video on the most underwhelming head coaches to win a Super Bowl, and Doug Peterson would be one of them, along with Gary Kubiak. That's another one. Yeah. All right, Red Rhino 94. It's been a few days since the Roman Grosjean incident, and I'm still stunned he survived the biggest accident I have ever seen in F1 on TV. Dude, that was scary. Have you seen it? Have you seen the tape of it?
I've seen pictures.
So basically,
it's just walking out. It's like, Jesus Christ.
He goes off the track. He goes into the barrier. His car basically cuts in half and explodes all at once. He goes over the barrier and he is engulfed in flames, and you're basically watching him die is what you're seeing. And the safety crew gets there. They bust out the fire extinguishers, and all of a sudden Grosjean shows up from out of nowhere and hops over the fence, and he's just like, his hands are like, I mean, you could tell he's burnt, but he's alive. And I was like, holy fuck, how did he get out of that? Like,
not just alive,
right?
But the fact that he pulled himself out of his own burning fucking car after that car went through a guardrail,
split in half, and
and blew the fuel cell, and he got out of that, and the only injury he appears to have, the x-rays show negative for any broken bones.
Jesus.
The only thing he has is a burn on the ankle where he lost his shoe, and it burns on the back of his hands where the gloves didn't protect him long enough.
Second degree burns, I think. And
the halo is made out of grade 5 titanium. A steel guardrail stood no chance against it.
Yeah. Well, he got lucky. Well, that's why the Ayrton Senna, when he died, it's just so crazy tragic, because he was just driving like normal, and
Senna, the back end stepped out on him. The whole car just lawn darted to the right.
Well, that, and then a part flew up and just hit him in the helmet. Like, it was
while
crazy.
Mid crash.
Freak occurrence. All right, let's do the rankings. Texans and the Lions. They started the week on Thursday. Another loss for the Lions on Thanksgiving Thursday while we were all enjoying turkey. Matt Patricia was coaching his last game. Texans are trash. The Texans are trash, and the Lions are trash. Are they not?
Yeah, Texans are probably just at the point they just want to win so they can fuck up Miami's draft pick.
So, Mike, if you can't see behind me, the tiers are Super Bowl, division winner, wild card, sus, which is neither playoff or high draft round pick, trash, and then Jets level trash, which only the Jets go in, or the Packers when Tom Grossi shows up. Okay. The next game on Thursday, there were supposed to be 3 games, but there was another game after that, and I'm sure, Mike, you did not enjoy the football team bending over the Cowboys like Larsa Pippen.
Can someone please explain to me what the hell that fake punt on 4th and 10 was?
On your own 20, right?
24. Yeah, it's a fucking reverse. Like, who's gonna fall for that?
Right,
and you're down by 4.
Right, do the classic punter throws to a wide open gunner, right? Like that's
or just put out your main offense.
You know what the worst part about this season is? The fact that Dak Prescott's injured is more than enough ammunition for Jerry Jones to justify bringing Mike McCarthy back next season, when he is he's worse than Jason Garrett. You know, like absolutely, some of the
what we were fearing would happen with McCarthy. He's learned nothing from Green Bay. Absolutely nothing. Yeah. The only thing he's changed is he's pro analytics. Like, what the hell does that mean? Just going for it on 4th down. Like, that's it.
You thought he learned anything? The only thing he was going to say was, I got a ring.
No shit.
Alex just hit us with 50 bones. Hey, gentlemen, the season of giving is upon us. As such, I made a recap bid of our best moments of the year. Share this glory with your nation of fans. Song of the Week, Paper Cut by Linkin Park. Also, Robert Salah, You Suck. Go Rams. Niners still suck. Rams lost to the Niners.
Yeah, Rams lost because of the Niners' defensive effort.
All right, Alex, put that link in the chat, and then I'll...
Yeah, I think I've seen this. It's pretty good.
Yes, it was very funny. It was me putting my ass in front of the TV. The thing is, Mike, you're stuck with McCarthy again until next year, because you can't fire a guy you paid, what, $5 million a year? Something ridiculous?
No.
For
sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I really wonder how the interview process goes for these head coaches. Like, what does Jerry Jones ask? What do the general managers ask these head coaches to show them in order to prove themselves as coaches?
Well, they're looking for probably scheme fit, looking for design, vision, and control. I think it's control.
Yeah, I think Jerry, when he interviews a guy, is like, how easy is it going to be to get along with this guy, and how much resistance is he going to put up when I tell him what to do? Jerry probably has a much different interview process than any other owner. Oops, something went wrong. Back. What just happened?
Yeah.
There we go.
Honestly, I can't think of a single thing that McCarthy could have said to potentially get the job from the Dallas Cowboys, like other than the fact that he would bend over and do whatever Jerry Jones asks of him.
Yeah, and Mike was desperate. He probably said all the right things because he had just gotten fired, and he was like, I want a job.
He was out of the league for a year, I know that. He was rumored for the Jets role for a bit, but they went for...
those two would be perfect together. Stubborn-ass Mike McCarthy ruining Sam Darnold. Oh, my God.
I could also, I can make an argument for the Cowboys to go into the Jets tier, because the sad part is we're probably going to finish with, a top, 8 draft pick. We're probably going to overpay Dak Prescott. As much as I actually like Dak Prescott, we're probably going to overpay him like we overpaid everyone else. If we didn't re-sign Ezekiel Elliott, he would have hit free agency, and he would have been in a similar situation that Todd Gurley was in last offseason, because he's been horrific this year. And we are overpaying Amari Cooper despite also having Michael Gallup and drafting CeeDee Lamb in the first round. And that's before we even get to the fact that we overpaid our left tackle, who's 29 years old and has a horrible injury history in Tyron Smith. We gave Jalen Smith a huge contract for no reason. We're cap-strapped for the future with a shitty coach, and we're going to be in pretty much NFL purgatory, where we're probably going to finish 6-10 or 8-8 for the next 3 years. So, chat, if anyone has a suggestion, I am happy to become a fan of a new team, because otherwise I don't know how engaged I could be in football any longer with being a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, we're going to put the Cowboys in regular trash for now, just because they're not Jets level trash. They're not 0-11 level trash, but they are trash.
They are a deep level dysfunction trash.
I'm very happy that you are a much more realistic Cowboys fan than Scooter, who came on here and told us that the Cowboys were going to win the Super Bowl. Okay. Good old Scoots. Right. But that's his shtick. We all know it. Mm-hmm.
He's great.
I like how Scooter qualifies everything. If the Cowboys win the division, they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm like, Scooter, okay. I love the bit and work.
It's been a rough 20 years of being a Cowboy fan for me, so I don't really I could barely watch the games this year. Like, when my team sucks, I'm not watching them. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm a fan. I'll turn on Red Zone and I'll root for my fantasy teams, but I'm not watching my shitty ass team that's probably not gonna make it to the playoffs.
No, it's like watching.
We all watch them just for comedy.
Right.
Like we don't watch them to start Ben DiNucci just to see them win. We watch them to see Jerry Jones melt in a fucking egotistical fury.
Yeah,
that's why we watch the Cowboys.
Yeah, that for America. Yeah, when we say they're America's team,
they're America's team. Yeah, we root against them all.
Yeah, GM.
Real America's team's the Steelers, because everyone fucking left Pittsburgh back in the 80s. That's why.
Yeah, you invaded the world just like California is invading Texas right now.
Texas and Arizona and Oregon and Washington.
Yep, and New Mexico. GN, do the Browns have a potential Week 17 win against the Steelers, who will likely clinch the division by then and roll out their backup team? Steelers are no. The Browns have won the last couple weeks, but they have not.
They've been ugly. Well, to be fair, the last couple weeks were weather, but Jacksonville, there was no excuse for that.
Yeah, they let a team that is tanking hang around all afternoon. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, they won, don't get me wrong, like an 8-3 Browns team is so 2020, but still it's they're not playing well. by any means. They're not beat
If
the Steelers well.
If I'm a Browns fan, I'm definitely concerned about Baker Mayfield overthrowing everyone in the end zone.
Gosh.
It's happened in
Very
multiple weeks.
Bills and Chargers. Oh, go ahead. Somebody going to weigh in?
Well, I was just going to say that Week 17, Browns versus Steelers, I'm 100% betting on the Browns. You have Baker Mayfield as an underdog? Are you kidding me?
Are you?
It's going to be anybody. It's probably the defense if they're starting Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
I don't know. By then, that could be a nice bet. By then, the line will probably be like -14 or something. You know, something ridiculous. And the Browns could cover 14 for sure. They're not going to win.
I mean, whenever Baker Mayfield isn't is counted, like, you know, the memes about Baker, you know, how
only good under pressure.
That's literally what I'm saying. Only good under pressure. When people are doubting him, he has a chip on his shoulder. The media is saying that the Browns are definitely going to lose to the Steelers. That's my only rationale. There's no other logic other than that.
L. Chris for 2. Who handled Rona worse, NFL or MLB?
NFL.
NFL
Easily
for sure.
NFL. MLB at least got their shit together after a while.
MLB had the luxury of being able to push games. The NFL does not, right?
Mm-hmm. Also, just an update. Ravens will be tested again Wednesday before the game. These will be rapid results point-of-care tests. It is not out of the question that positive results from Wednesday's round of testing could lead to further postponement. As of now, game is still on for 3:40 p.m. Eastern. Stay tuned. Sorry, I'm burping like mad.
The problem with the NFL is, like, they've got a set date for the Super Bowl. They've got a set date for all these things. Like, they do not want to push the Super Bowl back, even though there will probably likely be no fans at the Super Bowl. It's looking more
Honestly,
and more
you'd be
likely.
better off just rescheduling, or canceling the game and then doing the 8-team playoff, because you'll get more revenue that way. Extra game.
It's possible. God damn, Baltimore. Fuck the whole league up.
Well, it's not even Baltimore. It's fucking Tennessee that did it first.
That's true. The NFL doctors believe that COVID cannot be transmitted from team to team. I'm like, okay, all right.
Oh, yeah.
You see Jalen Ramsey
Okay, who
getting
did
in
that?
some
Dr.
wide
David
receiver's
Chow?
face. Right. Sure. They're not wearing masks out there.
Oh, no. You can't. It doesn't spread when you're out on the field. It only spreads when you're having fun.
That's right.
That's
right.
It only spreads like after 9 o'clock.
Right, because they're working out there. They're not having fun playing a game.
It spreads in like places of worship, restaurants, bars. It only spreads when you're doing it for fun.
Yep.
And it spreads when you're swapping jerseys.
Yep. Does not
and when you're
spread
celebrating in locker rooms.
Right. Any type of political thing, though, it doesn't spread at. Victory parties, rallies. You know how it is.
Oh, like publicly dancing in the streets?
Yes.
Yeah, doesn't spread there.
Nope. Protest does not spread. Trump rallies does not spread. Dodger of Zion, no. I don't know what's a bigger mess. The Eagles or my Ford Taurus after a cat started nesting in the engine bay. What? How long's it been since you drove your car, Dodger? Holy shit.
Oops.
A cat is nesting in your engine bay?
Dear
Hopefully
God,
you didn't
what
crank it.
There? Did you crank the engine and it killed it?
No, cats are so smart.
Now.
Cats are fucking smart, man. They'll hitch on and they'll ride in a car and then end up in Nebraska or some shit, and they'll be like, "Oh shit, meow, I'm in Nebraska." Fuck. Bills and Chargers. Dodge will probably check in when we talk about the Eagles at the end of the show. Bills beat the Chargers, which they should. Bills are looking like they're very solidly a division winner. Do you think that they're a sneak Super Bowl contender?
I wouldn't give them that yet. The Bills have yet to put together a full 60-minute game.
Yeah. Also, they've had issues with defense. Sometimes the offense gets iffy. Dodger did an update. She drives her car every day. No kitties were harmed.
Oh, my gosh. No kitties were harmed in the making of this stream.
See, that's good.
But every time you masturbate, God kills a kitten. Mm-hmm.
If they got hot at the right time, then I could see them sneaking into the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sneak. If they get super hot at the end, like maybe they start playing shutdown defense, like at the end. It's possible. It's possible.
But NFL... you gotta make me believe that they're going to have to overtop one of either Pittsburgh or Kansas City.
It's true, but
And-
last year the Titans took out the Ravens, who were destined for an AFC Championship appearance.
Destiny don't mean much in front of Derrick Henry. The man's a fucking locomotive.
That's what I'm saying. I think that they would have given Kansas City a little more trouble than Tennessee, but they still would have ultimately lost. Kansas City was not going to be beat.
Do you think it's a little harsh to put the Chargers in the same tier as the no names, the Cowboys, the Lions, and the Texans?
Yes, because they deserve all their stupid losses.
With how awful they've been,
leads.
how they can't hold a lead with their clock management and the
Coaching is killing that team.
Oh, dude. And they're going to bitch about Anthony Lynn about, it's like they're taking it's like a racist thing. I'm going to sit here and be like, have any of you actually seen a Chargers game this year? The dude has not evolved. He's a terrible coach. In terms of
he has not managed, like he hasn't done what a head coach is supposed to do, which is strategize and lead the team and put the team in the best position to win. He has done the opposite of that. He has put them in positions to lose, and it shows. They're 3-8.
It showed last week.
I will say this.
We have completed a Hail Mary that was just absolutely nuts. What do
Kevin.
we do? Oh, let's run the ball.
Kevin, what are you doing talking? We're not talking about the Titans, huh? I don't get
I'm talking about
this. Matt. Actually, the next game is the Titans. All right.
We were talking about the Chargers, and I saw the Chargers game, and I was like,
yeah, but all right,
how did they fuck that up?
You're not a Chargers fan? Out.
Well,
now we're going to talk about the Titans. All right, Titans and Colts. Titans are legit. Titans are division winners. As we all said last week, whoever wins this game is going to win the division. We had the Titans as the division winner last week because they've led for the most amount of time. And they went through and they showed how good they actually can be by beating their kryptonite, the Colts, who are probably a wild card team, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. That was very effective strategy of giving the ball to Derrick Henry. I like that strategy.
Derrick fucking Henry, man.
Yeah.
You might as well just change that logo on the Tiermaker and just put the face of Derrick Henry, because that's pretty much all it is now.
That is the entire team.
Yeah, just make it the draw play Dave's picture of Henry as one of the Titans from Attack on Titan.
Oh god.
Who would you say is the hardest hitting safety in the league right now? Or defensive player?
Hardest hitting?
Yeah, like Deebo Samuel or Buda Baker.
Buda Baker. Paul Adams could be up there.
What would you rather do? Get hit by Buda Baker or try to tackle Derrick Henry?
I'd go right to Arizona and just ask the man that hit me right now.
Yeah, I'd let Buda Baker level me.
I think he would vaporize me before I could even touch Derrick Henry.
Like getting hit by Buda Baker, it's one hit and you're down. Getting hit by Derrick Henry is not only the hit, but also the trampling that goes over top of your head.
Right.
It's probably going to drag you for about 20 yards, too.
Did you guys see that DraftKings commercial when that guy, it says, you must experience an authentic James Harrison tackle?
Yes.
Like, wait, he doesn't have to do it. He's like, he won't. If he doesn't tackle, he doesn't get paid.
All right. Would you rather get kicked in the nuts or have to tackle Derrick Henry?
Probably kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. Give me Henry.
Give me Henry.
I'd try to tackle Henry. I'm not getting kicked in the jewels. You might rupture a testicle. I don't think Derrick Henry's going to rupture one of my testicles.
Although there is the light chance if you fail at tackling Derrick Henry, he then tramples over your nuts on the way to the end zone.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then you'd be known as One Nut Stan. All right. Where are we here? Dodger, we read that. Official Gus Reichlen, not sure what was worth watching Hiei's Bears lose despite cheering for Green Bay or slicing into my finger and fingernail with a potato peeler. All right, would you rather slice your finger and fingernail with a potato peeler or tackle Derrick Henry? I'm sorry that happened, bro.
That speaks to the average intelligence of your normal Packer fan about that action.
Okay.
Oh, man.
It's used to cutting cheese. It probably thought his finger was a slice of sharp cheddar.
Did he cut the cheese?
Did he do that and then murder his ex-wife and a waiter? is what
And then stick him in his freezer.
Right. Jared Froman,
Oh,
Matt
boy.
Patricia coached horribly on Thanksgiving. Mike McCarthy somehow pulled off a bigger hatchet job of coaching on Thanksgiving than Patricia. Mike McCarthy, as Flightmike has alluded to, was bad. Yeah, that's got to be hard to watch. Your team on Thursday lose to a team that's playing better, but Washington football is not a good team.
I was actually happy. I was actually very happy because at least we're contributing to our tank.
Yes.
But the problem is I don't know who we're tanking for. Trevor Lawrence is out of the question. The Jets have him secured. So who do we go for, like an edge rusher like Gregory Rousseau? Do we try to get the best offensive tackle in the draft? I don't know what we're tanking for.
You're tanking for low cost talent is what you need. Like at every weakness. Like you said, you've overloaded your cap to the point where you've dished out all these contracts with these emotional attachments to these players that are it's going to come back to bite y'all, and it's starting now already. And these are great players. Don't get me wrong. Jalen Smith is a beast. Okay. But I don't think he deserves all that money for what you're trying to do.
Agreed. I had this like pipe dream at the beginning of the season when Dak went down, where the Cowboys somehow get Lawrence, have him on a rookie scale contract, give him a bunch of like shiny weapons, and Amari Cooper, Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb, and obviously that's not going to happen. So
and Jerry would have some
laughing there.
Jerry would have some system where Dak and Trevor both play quarterback.
Oh no, we'd move on from Dak, but Dak would get the bag somewhere else. Like it would solve the cap problem, not really in a way that I'd like, but
they are going to sign Dak before the end of the year.
They probably will. I mean, they'll probably do franchise tag and negotiate an extension in the offseason. As good as it sounds for Dak, I don't think the injury is really going to hurt his contract value, because look at what's come after him. I'm like, you need me, buddy. It's like every time you lose, there's another $1 million added on the contract.
The thing with Jerry is, for as much of an asshole as he seems to be, he does get emotionally attached to players, and I think he just loves Dak. And
that's a weakness.
Yeah, it is a weakness. I mean, he's obviously handed out money. He obviously loves Zeke. Like, he loves him and his presence in the locker room. That's why he gave him all that money. And he's gonna fork over the money for Dak for sure. It'll happen. Vikings and the Panthers. The Vikings at one point their season was gone. I think they were down
1-4, I think.
No, they were down 21-10 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And they rose like Jesus or a phoenix.
I saw the end of that game. I couldn't believe how Carolina blew that. They were ahead 6 points with less than a minute to go.
They were like, all right, guys, come on.
Well, what happened was, like, I think they tried going for the kill, and then they stopped the clock inadvertently.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that was a situation of bad clock management in the situation of the defense, and the defense not lining up to just stuff the goal line.
Carolina's usually been pretty good in those situations this year.
Wouldn't you say
honestly, they should have set up 3 linemen, and then the rest of the 8 were just back, waiting for the inevitable, shot.
The question, so we all know that the Vikings are sus. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs. They're still in it for some reason, but who knows? The question is, are the Panthers trash, or are they just sus?
I'd still say sus.
You think they're sus at 4-8?
Yeah.
Behind the Falcons?
I don't know.
I'll give them sus. But the thing is, all right, how can you? We're gonna put the Falcons in trash, right? Because they are trash. But we're gonna put a team that's behind them in the standings in sus.
Panthers beat the Falcons. They crushed them.
When I watch the Panthers play, they're actually playing good football more often than not. Okay. I don't really like bang my head against the wall watching them lose. They don't do stuff that's like necessarily stupid. It's just like a team that's needs a little bit more development, in my opinion.
All right, you sold me. I'll put them in sus. They're better than trash. They've got upside. They've got upside. Beast Metal 1989. Broncos get pegged by death by the league. On a related note, I hope they have to push Steelers Ravens to week 18 just to spite the league. That'll probably happen. I guarantee you tomorrow there's going to be some positive tests and they're just going to be like, fuck.
You know, it would be funny if there was just positive, if there was like an outbreak in the Steelers locker room this time. It was like, oh, shit.
They have a couple cases.
Every team's going to have a couple cases.
Couple other players.
I would say, look, the NBA, and I get that they had a lower amount of teams. They didn't have to get all 32 teams into Orlando. They didn't have one fucking positive, did they?
I think they had a couple like before, but they were false positives. They had that issue with the dude bringing in a girl into his hotel room. Yeah.
But clearly communism works when it comes to not spreading the disease, right?
Oh, God.
You can't have COVID.
Well, the thing with the NBA, how many like buffers did they have between them and the players?
So many. And then they also limited who came in and who came out. Like they did it lockdown and it worked. NFL, you see the results. MLB did not lock down and they got through it and it happened. But I don't know. They got to go. Do you think they go playoff bubble for the playoffs? Because they can't have this happen in the playoffs.
I think they have to.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's a little bit more doable.
All right, I'm going to read rapid fire the 4 next ones because we're getting behind here. Graph on T-Roll, I can only imagine what's going on in John Elway's head given the circumstances leading up to and during the game. John Elway's going to draft another 6'8" quarterback. Bobbington McJeff, as a Raiders fan, I'm glad to see them throwing it back to 2018. That was brutal.
No, I did not expect that.
I did not expect that. Losing to a team that is playing for nothing.
Oh,
Jack
God,
Kobilski. Got to say that right. It's the end of the year. Time for my confession. My top 3 favorite bands are number 1, My Chemical Romance. Number 2, Linkin Park. And number 3, Avenged Sevenfold. Black Parade is my all-time favorite album and is a classic. Oh, wow. You're getting the booze here from Alex. Linkin Park's not bad. They just kind of
I would rather tackle Derrick Henry than listen to Avenged Sevenfold.
Wow.
There, I said it.
Ooh.
Avenged Sevenfold.
And you know Derrick Henry's going to pull that long hair you got.
Yep.
No, well, yeah, he is. I was going to say, though, you know what? People, they tried to play Avenged Sevenfold at Guantanamo Bay. Then the government thought that was too cruel.
Ooh. Wow.
Okay, what would you consider your anti-Avenged Sevenfold man? What sort of band that you would prefer?
Honestly, you could even say Nickelback's far better than Avenged
Yeah, I was about to
Sevenfold.
say Nickelback.
I think Nickelback is a Midwest thing, right? Because everyone that I've met from the Midwest just fucking loves Nickelback. We had Throne on here last week, and he's just like, I don't think Nickelback's a bad band. I'm like,
You're not wrong. I mean, like when I was in Arizona actually last year for the Rams Cardinals game, they like if I bring it up here, if I'll be like, oh, Nickelback sucks, or like blah blah blah, and I hate that song. They'll be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the best things on. The weird thing is because they play like the Foo Fighters on our radio, which is just Nickelback with a slightly better singer, and everyone in SoCal is like, oh, Nickelback's garbage. I'd rather listen to Nailed on a Chalkboard.
I wouldn't call Foo Fighters slightly better Nickelback.
They wrote "Learn to Fly," which is
I'm
one
just
of the
saying,
worst
Foo
songs ever
Fighters.
made.
Dave Grohl is talented. He plays like all the instruments.
He is, but that couldn't even save him from writing as bad of a song as Learn to
Kroger's
Fly.
not going to play all the instruments. He can barely sing. All right,
That's
David
true.
Benjamin. The Browns are the fakest 8-3 team. Meanwhile, I'm buried in snow. You must be in the Midwest. Who's all getting snow right now?
I am. We've had snow all day.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome if they actually had to play the game.
It's 80 degrees and sunny in SoCal. It sucks.
Lucky.
Wow. Cry about it, baby.
Sunny. Dude, it's been snow here all day. Like it was
Alan-
like 50 like on Sunday. Now it's like cold.
Here in Virginia,
Shit, I'd
it
take
doesn't
some snow here.
Doesn't snow here in
I
Virginia.
had a little bit of a dusting here in Tennessee too.
Oh.
Like we've had a couple inches here at least.
Alan Nadeau III, working on my second NFL trade tree, the Ricky Williams trade tree. It's huge. Already did a trade tree on the 7th overall pick in the 94 draft. I believe Alan has a YouTube channel as well. All right, let's go back to some games here. Let's knock some more out. Browns and the Jaguars. So the Browns are going to are going to
Browns are wild card.
Yeah, they're going to waltz into a wild card, probably the most sus wild card team. And the Jaguars are absolutely
They trash.
They trash.
Yeah, trash.
Jake Luton.
Anyone see that touchdown from Mike Glennon?
Mike Glennon played?
Jeez. Mike
Apparently,
Glennon
Glennon is only a serviceable quarterback in the state of Florida.
I thought Mike Glennon was put back in the zoo in the giraffe exhibit where he belongs.
To think somebody paid him $15 million a year, that's hilarious.
Mike Glennon.
I would hate to be Mike Glennon and have a sore throat. Like, that would just suck.
Well, Tree, if I got some news for you coming up here, I've just received a late afternoon wire.
Ooh. Is it about the Stellars?
No, it is not. It is about the team that signed Mike Glennon to that $15 million deal.
Oh,
are they starting him next week?
Mm-hmm.
No.
What happened?
Did somebody just take a hit off of a bong and they're coughing? Is that the cough?
Nah,
Somebody just has the Rona.
You have the Roan. You got the Roans? All right.
No, not yet. Sorry.
New York Giants and the... All right. If you would have told me 5 weeks ago that the Giants would be in first place in the playoff hunt and even just had 4 wins, I would have laughed in your face. I am a Giants fan, Mike, so
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
This
is painful to watch, even for them winning. So then Daniel Jones gets hurt, which makes you realize, all right, Daniel Jones isn't the greatest quarterback, but we have nobody.
You have Colt McCoy,
yes.
which is like Jesus Christ.
The most Texas name you could possibly have.
Colt McTexan, by God.
Colt McCoy.
Which is funny because he lost to the Texans, right?
Yes. I mean, he's a career backup, and he wasn't even good when he was at Texas, if you ask me. You ever meet someone that went to UT Austin and is convinced that they would have beaten Alabama if Colt McCoy didn't get hurt? I'm just like,
yes.
No, shut up. Colt McCoy is not good. But dude, we won, but to me it was a sad game. The Giants are still trash, even though they're leading the division, because McCoy's going to start next week. They have somebody. Who are they playing next week? Jesus. The Seahawks, right?
Yeah, that's
beat them.
Yeah,
please.
They're going to lead. They're going to lose to the Seahawks, and then they got Cleveland, which they could beat. I think they could beat Cleveland, but then they have the Cardinals, and then who knows how they'll play the Cowboys, and who knows how they'll play. There's another good team that they're playing in the next 5 games. The Rams, I think.
You already played us, man.
Oh yeah, we got our asses kicked. Who the Giants play in week?
Probably say the Niners.
No, we already lost to the Niners.
Boo.
We have
Oh,
the
right,
Cardinals. We have the Browns, the Ravens. That's it. We got the Ravens. So they're gonna lose that game unless the Ravens are still infested with the video. So I just don't see the Giants are fucking up their tank. Just like they could have Chase fucking Young if they just would have lost the last game of the season last year. But instead we have a barely serviceable offensive lineman. We could have Chase fucking Young. Okay. Bengals are trash. Bengals are worse than trash. Bengals should be below trash.
They should be fined for that treatment of Burrow. Like, they just chucked him out there to die. Like, immediately out of the draft. They just threw him out in front just to die.
Sadness. Darkness. All right, Patriots, Cardinals. Patriots pulled out a win. Probably saved their season. Right there.
Probably fucked up
and
their
nobody's
tank.
happy about it.
Oh, no. Patriots
No,
fans
I'm happy.
hate it.
I'm happy.
I'm really happy.
Why? Explain to me why you're happy.
They're getting further and further away from drafting an actually good quarterback, and they're committed to Cam Newton for the future.
Yes.
I'm
I
happy
like it.
because they exposed the Cardinals defense as a bunch of frauds. Because in complete honesty, like, okay, you get Kyler Murray. Oh, we got Hopkins now. And I found some arrogance from Cardinals fans who have just all of a sudden come out of the closet. Like, yeah, we're going to win the division. We got Hopkins. Seriously, I understand because he's arguably the best receiver in the league. But that doesn't patch up every single thing about your crappy franchise. The fact that your defense is only relying on Budda Baker.
They're going to make the playoffs. So I like the way you think, Mike. The Patriots dynasty has to die. And I think by them going 8-8 for the next like 10 years would just be the perfect justice for it.
It's going to be the Detroit Red Wings where they just get stuck in that mediocre cycle.
It was so disgusting. Like it was so because it was really disgusting because the Patriots won and they asked Cam Newton about his stats and he had like no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, single-digit completions, and he was like, "Hey, I don't really care about individual achievements. We got the W," and then like walked away despite almost causing them to lose.
Well, he's been trained by Belichick. He's like, listen, this is what you say, and do not deviate from the script. And you can wear all the fucking Yodelehi who Price is Right outfits you want on the way to the game, but when it comes to press conference time, you just say that we got the win. Okay, don't go off script. And don't say anything about females.
Just remember, it was a tag team between Fitzmagic and Derrick Henry that killed the dynasty.
I hope so. I hope so. All right. Tree, rapid fire, the next 4 from Texas Cowboy to GN.
Aye, Texas Cowboy for 5. How did Romain Grosjean survive that wreck? I was one that hated that halo, thought it looked dumb, but that legit saved his life.
Yeah, crazy. I think the halo's crazy too because there's a bar right in the middle, but apparently it doesn't obstruct their view.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Well, if you think about it, the 2 eyes on either side of the pole.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Kyle Moylan. Hey, Tree, I have a title for this week's Dallas. Stuffed. For their Thanksgiving humiliation. Oh, speaking of this week in sports ball, I have something planned for it, so it might be running a little late this week.
Yeah, well, maybe
also
you have an
because of the
excuse.
Steelers-Ravens game.
You have an excuse because the Steelers and the Ravens are not playing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that shit.
All right.
That too.
Stuffed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, keep going.
Phantom Observer. So tell me, would Denver's game have gone any better if John Elway had suited up as QB? Maybe.
No, it wouldn't have.
No. It would have maybe you completed like 3 passes.
John Elway's
he would have died.
Yeah.
55 or something like that.
Yeah, okay. He could probably
They would have had to have run an oat bag out to him instead of water.
Yes. That
he would probably literally die.
and GN.
Tickets though. Oh my
GN
God.
for 5. When the NFL decides in the argument with ownership that a forfeit means both teams don't get paid, this is what happens. Steelers will get screwed. Yeah. That's the NFL logic for you.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. All right. Dolphins and Jets. The Jets.
Jets tier trash. They make us
Jets
trash.
are so dedicated to the tank. I've never seen a team bought into the tank like the Jets. It is historic. Like
even Gase doesn't know they're tanking.
Here's the thing. The year that Cleveland and Detroit was pretty bad. But the year that the Browns lost 16 games, they should not have lost 16 games. I think 10 of those games were 1 score. The Jets The
Jets only had like 1 real game where they were close.
Right. They're not even in these games. Like they're just fucking awful.
Something tells me the Jets win like 1 random game. They're nowhere possible to be anywhere near to win.
I think the dream.
You want a minor fact? This is statistically speaking, they're worse than the '96 Jets.
Right, easily. Already. Like I think they're setting the record for worst point differential.
They are terrible.
If you're Trevor Lawrence, do you come back for another year?
I stay in college.
No,
Fuck
if you're Trevor,
get that degree, man.
You don't cost yourself money. You just pull an Eli and just say, "I am not playing for the Jets. You need to trade me." And
they literally drafted a quarterback 3 years ago, and they're failing him. But at the same time, they do have a lot of assets coming up. You know, I think they have how many first-round picks do they have in that draft?
It's true. You would have to be like, all right, Trevor, come play for us. We'll let you pick whoever you want to be coach. We'll throw a fucking ton of money at Lincoln Riley or somebody to come in and coach, and we'll get you all the parts that you need. This will be your franchise, Trevor. That's appealing, but the Johnsons still run the franchise, though. You know, like it's still the most. They're the Toronto Maple Leafs of the NFL, like most biggest media attention for shittiest team that you could possibly have.
Toronto was at least successful.
I'd say the New York Knicks.
something, whatever. Yeah, they're the Knicks of the NFL. But still, like, oh man, if I'm Trevor Lawrence, I do not want to play for the Jets in any case or show.
Nope. They're the Angels.
Yeah, they're terrible. All right, the Dolphins, are they sus or are they a wild card team?
I mean, they are 7-4.
They're a wild card team.
Yeah. I mean, that was just like a free win for Miami, but like,
Oh my God.
I mean, it's what it is.
20-3. 20-3. They just, and Fitzpatrick played the whole time, and he's just. Anyway, sorry. It's just, every time the Jets play, it gets increasingly funny to me that they're a football team. That they just like all I have to, like, if I want a cheap 200 likes on Twitter, all I have to do is tweet New York Jets. I don't have to say anything, no context whatsoever, and I'm like, oh, that's 15 retweets and 200 likes right there. Thank you.
I'm wondering though, like, if Gase even realizes how bad the team itself is right now. Like, I'm wondering what he's thinking in his head. He's obviously got no hope in hell of turning the franchise around at this point.
What he's thinking in his head is that he's still looking for that flying taco he saw at his press conference.
Here's the thing, right? All of us have had jobs where we know we weren't doing well at them, right? And it's just, but in your mind, you're like, I'm doing everything that I can. I'm just going to keep showing up to work. And until they fire me, they're going to fire me. And that was basically my sales career. And basically, Adam Gase is someone who thinks he's a good salesman who is like $8 million off his quota of 20 million. Right?
He's the worst kind of an. He's the one who doesn't think he's doing anything
close.
wrong.
Right. But yeah, and then you end up getting fired and you're just like, and you get pissed because you got fired, but you're like, I could have worked harder. Yeah. Falcons and the Raiders. The Falcons come out of nowhere to absolutely teabag the Raiders. The Raiders, are they sus or are they trash? Like,
they're sus. What happened to that offensive line?
They're still over 500. Yeah, they're the definition of sus. Yeah. The Falcons cannot be sus. They are trash. But they're playing better now that they got rid of the cancer that is Dan Quinn.
Hey, guys, guess what?
What?
Todd Gurley. Do you know what he's out with now?
COVID-19?
A knee injury. I can't say I didn't see that one coming.
Well,
He's been doing well this year, though.
Everyone knows that he is injury prone, and yeah, he went from. That's the thing with running backs is they're going to get beat up like Nate Robinson.
Oh no, too soon.
Nate Robinson has been getting roasted ever since that. What the funny thing about Nate Robinson to me is that Jake Paul is getting absolutely no credit, and Nate Robinson is just getting roasted into the sun. Like,
dude,
no one likes Jake Paul.
I'm just saying, like, Jake Paul probably worked pretty hard to develop a nice little jab cross combo, knocks Nate Robinson out, and everyone is just roasting Nate Robinson into the
Coming
sun.
from someone in SoCal, no one actually likes Jake Paul here. I mean,
nobody
it's just
does.
He set my water park on fire.
Someone getting yelled at in the background by their wife? What's going on?
Or their mom.
Or their mom?
Yeah, probably a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Looked a little
Kevin,
older.
it's time to rub the bunions. Uh-huh.
Oh.
All right. You do not come on this show and expect not to get roasted like Nate Robinson. All right. Where did we end off here?
We are on Josh Bush.
Josh Bush, a.k.a. the NASCAR driver. Can there be an FU Ravens tier? Ravens are fucking up the league right now because they can't keep the dirty off of them. Beast of Metal, RE Formula 1, thank God for the halo. Otherwise, Grosjean would have literally lost his head. Armco, a.k.a. Highway Guardrail, has no place on top-tier purpose-built road courses in this day and age. I think, they were in Bahrain, right? So, like, it's an older configuration. The other thing that's disappointing is that the bladder failed on the, but it must have been a perfect incursion where it just split the way that I understand fuel cells are engineered. Like they're Kevlar, they're steel, and they should not pop open for any reason. But
the wall that he hit was guardrail, but it's supported by a steel post in the ground. and they appeared to be about 8 to 10 foot steel posts that are sticking up about 4 feet.
So basically nothing would have prevented, like the steel just tore through the Kevlar.
Well, because the nose went through the Armco, but then the side went through the post, or more accurately, the post went through the side.
Golly, it's just amazing how, number one, that accident could happen, and number two, all the things that kept Grosjean from dying, like crazy.
Didn't like Kimi Räikkönen have like some gnarly crash? I want to say 8-9 years ago, and it completely shattered like the front right half of his car.
Something like that. I don't remember. I don't know. I didn't see it. Joey Overstreet, Tree, and 5 points. Will you please join me in prayer for the football gods? The people in the Hall of Fame that have left us. Dear football gods, please give my arrogance and cockiness as a Denver fan. Amen. Mike, to catch you up, Joey Overstreet 3 weeks ago said that the Broncos would finish 11-5.
Oh, wow.
That no quarterback shit was penance for Joey Overstreet's arrogance. Now you know how we feel, man. I've done it as a Steeler fan. You do not tease the gods. Because if you do, you end up starting Kendall Hinton.
Yep. He tested the gods. And
it's
the
still
gods
fucking bullshit, though.
Showed no mercy. No mercy.
Hey, if you're going to dunk like that and try to get one up on me, you expect to get shit thrown back.
The other thing was they were 3-5 at the time that he said that they were going to go 11-5.
They're going to win out.
Oh,
this is not a preseason prediction.
So how's 10-6?
Yeah. Uncultured Barbarian. Remember a few years ago when the sports hack wrote that Trubisky was the new king of the North? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yep. We'll get to that game. We'll get to that game. Actually, we are at the Saints Broncos. Easy one to call because
I was at work, so I couldn't see that monstrosity of a game. Thank God
you're lucky.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The Broncos are squarely in the trash now.
Squarely.
They're not even sus.
Into the trash.
Are the Saints the big question is, are the Saints the NFC representative in the Super Bowl?
No.
Not with Taysom.
Saints are division.
They're going to win the division.
Not with Taysom, I don't think.
Okay, then that really narrows it down to the Packers. If you're saying
Packers or maybe the Seahawks.
The Seahawks looked bad against a shitty Eagles team.
You know where the Packers go on that damn tier list because you know who's hiding in this chat right now.
He is hiding.
He's just sitting
like a fucking shark.
Like a little leprechaun.
Let me look at participants, see if he's in here. If he's one of the 500 people, okay, he's not.
Top of the morning to you, Mr. Boldy. Go block goal.
He's waiting to strike. He's waiting to strike when we put them up there, and then he's gonna. You know what?
You just got to start by putting them next to the Jets. That's the only way you're just gonna get them.
We're gonna start him in the trash. You're right.
He'll be starting him. He'll be rubbing his bald head for a shine of luck.
There. All right, let's go. 49ers and the Rams. Why did the Rams?
Boo!
Why did the Rams lose to a 49er team that's more banged up than Nate Robinson?
Scheming and coaching.
I can tell you how. McVay, if you're watching this, if you run the same 3 offensive plays, this is what happens. Seriously, it's like, and the problem is, I mean, I don't give much credit to Goff either because he had that one terrible throw that ended up in a pick 6, but still. Why would you run an inside handoff? Because the only thing that they were healthy with was their interior linebackers. He kept running the same stupid inside handoff, and it's the definition of insanity.
Stubbornness.
It kept pretty much nothing happened.
Is the smartest guy on the field, okay? He's the smartest guy out there. They're still going to make the wild card.
Yeah, they are, but still, Niners still suck. Anyway.
Niners are. Who's talking? Sorry.
I'm sorry, but I was gonna say, who won that 2016 draft day trade between the Titans and the Rams? You know,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
I would say mainly because that the Rams are succeeding just because of their defense, and not because of the top.
Let me point something out. Goff isn't completely terrible. I'm not going to say he's going to be a top 10 right now, but the thing is, I think it's just Saleh's defense. It's just had it out for him since they ended up rebuilding in 2019. Like the thing is, it's just I can't see how you don't adjust, especially when I just assume that they probably didn't take them seriously enough to actually realize, well, shit, you got to change your offense at some point.
I think they take the Niners seriously. They were stubborn. So I think the Niners are sus.
I just have to say again.
All in favor of
Robert's,
the Niners?
sorry, go ahead. I just have to say, Robert Saleh, shut the fuck up and stay on your sideline. Like, I understand if he's winning the game, if you're beating my team, but if you're going to scream at the offense every time you make a defensive stop and jump to our side of the field every time you get a stop or a sack, like, dude, go sit your ass down.
You'd love it if he was on your team. You would love it if he was coaching.
I probably would, but right now, dude, Saleh, I hate you, and frankly, I want to meet him in a parking lot. No, not really. That's too dark. I'm joking. No, that's too dark.
You want to meet him in a parking lot so he can hand your own ass to you and throw you in the trunk of your own car?
I think Robert Saleh could stare at you and break your face. I think he could just look at you really meanly and break your face.
No, he'll blind me with the sheen on his head.
I can do that from here.
And then shave your own head.
Irvin Alvarado, I want to say R.I.P. to Maradona, the hand of God, race Argentina's 1986 World Cup trophy. A hero to Napoli, giving them 2 titles in the late 90s. He is the best soccer player ever to contribute to footy. Yes, my greatest memory of Diego Maradona was when Argentina, I think they beat Germany or something, and he just gave the double finger guns to
double bird, yeah,
double bird. Like, how many of you play Madden or play a game where you beat someone and you're just like flicking off the monitor like, fuck you, little bitch? But Diego Maradona got to do that in real life. So
he did it to us in Colombia. That's why he's not very liked in my culture.
He led a
The only thing he loved more than rubbing people for proving him wrong is cocaine.
Yeah. Oh my God, did he love the cocaina? Oh my gosh. Coke, it's not bad. Not bad when you're young.
Seems he loved Colombia, but Colombia didn't love him.
Beast of Metal 1989, in honor of the Derp having the best record in Tank Division, I'm making knockoff merch for them. I've tweeted a concept art at you. 5 points. Let's see.
I'm sorry. I'm probably going to stand for the football team. It would be hilarious if they won this division.
I would love.
It would be brilliant. Nothing against your Giants. They'd be kind of funny, but it'd be more of a derp.
No,
Washington
the Giants
football team is just so bad. It's like they just like it. Have you ever heard of the meme Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing? That would be the Washington football team. It's just like everyone just falls and there's like the football team just standing there like, oh, okay.
Okie dokie.
The Giants could be in the playoffs or have a top 5 pick. It's at the same time. It's crazy. But I would prefer that. I would not want them. I guess it would feel good to win a division, but it's kind of like, remember when the Redskins won at 9-7 and we knew that they were going to be eliminated like immediately. That's the thing. Okay. Oh, Beast of Metal sent. I'm going to retweet this here. Here, I'll bring it up on screen of his artwork. You see that back there? He did the what's the fry guy from Adult Swim?
Fried Lock
from Aqua Teen?
Yeah, Team Aqua Teen. Yes. Good night. All right. Okay, that's funny. Okay. All right. Someone's a comedian. I get it. All right. Let's do another game. You can see my ADD's kicking in here. Chiefs and Buccaneers. This game was not as close as the score indicates. 27.
It was ugly in the first half.
Yeah, to 24. I guess the Chiefs are Super Bowl contenders, right? Signature win.
Yeah.
Beating a team that they can beat. Should beat. What do you do with the Bucs, though?
Wild card.
Everyone is swinging from the Bucs nuts every time they win a game. They're 7-5, man, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, if you beat the Bucs, that's a signature win."
I've been saying they were overrated since the beginning of last year.
Like we go from burying them to Tom Brady is the greatest every week. If they win again, everyone's like just swinging off of his nut hairs, and then if they lose, they're just like his career's over. There's no middle ground with him.
The problem with Brady is his deep ball has been very, very iffy. And for a team that relies on a lot of spread offense, throwing deep all the time, it's not a good combination.
Yeah.
Honestly, Brady's always been about insulating the line, short passes, slants, quick motions, screens. That's what Brady does best.
Yeah.
Brady's long ball was suspect even when he was in New England. Having to watch him try to load up the fucking catapult to get that thing into the end zone from 60 yards away. That took everything he had, even galloping forward and stepping into it.
I don't know about that. Peak Brady was good, man. Peak Brady could throw the deep ball. That game against Denver where he just lit them up and he was throwing darts all over the place. I remember that. That's the game that basically got Tim Tebow fired. Peak Brady could throw deep balls.
Wasn't that at Mile High?
No, that was in Foxborough.
That was in Fox.
Yeah. I mean, I remember.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
You still see his body language trying to load up the gun to shoot it.
Now he's still
like he's not like Jay Cutler where he just flicks his arm and the fucking thing breaks the sound barrier going 30 yards away.
Are you really bringing Jay Cutler into a conversation about Tom Brady?
Well, I'm talking about arm power.
Okay. All right.
You
You
know.
just isolate it to arm power because then we can bring up Sam Darnold if you want, or Heath Schuler had a great arm, right?
Plenty of great quarterbacks that have big arms that flop at the NFL.
Sex cannon, baby.
Mike, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? If that's not an HR violation.
I'm 15.
Okay. So in your 15 years on the planet, wow, you have a pretty deep voice for a 15-year-old.
I'm fucking with you. I'm 27.
I would suspect that you're.
You should have just run with 15, dude.
Okay. You didn't get to see Aikman play. Who's the strongest armed Dallas quarterback that you've seen in your life?
The strongest armed Dallas quarterback?
Not best quarterback, just like best deep ball.
All right, let me rack my brain here because I became a fan like towards right after when Aikman retired.
Right. Is it Rome's? Romo didn't have a great deep ball. I mean, he was accurate, but I wouldn't call him a great deep ball chucker.
I mean, we never had a guy that really had like this cannon of an arm that could like chuck deep balls. I would probably have to say it's probably Romo. I'd have to say Romo.
All right.
Probably.
Yeah, Romo. The thing with Romo is whenever they got the ball and it was like a 2-minute drill, I was like, these fuckers are going to drive right down the field every time. Like he might not have been able to punch it in at the end or something like that, but I was like, he's going to at least get them into field goal position. I've never kind of felt that way with Dak, right? Like I see Dak get into those situations where I'm like, if they had Romo, we'd be fucked. But I'm less worried about Dak. I don't know. Is it that way for you as a fan? Did you feel that way? Because me as a Giants fan, every time I saw Romo out there, I was like, fuck. Because he would just find Witten all the time.
Well, the only other quarterback that you have in the post-Aikman era that I can remember is Vinny Testaverde.
He was an unmitigated disaster. I
remember Quincy Carter.
Oh, God. Quincy Starter?
Too.
Squincy Starter? Yeah.
Brandon Whedon you had for a hot minute, I remember there.
Oh,
did you guys have Ryan Mallett or was that the Texans?
Kyle Orton? Didn't you have to start Kyle Orton at one point?
I think they did.
Yeah.
Like for like a game.
Yeah, and he threw a big interception. Ding Productions is in the chat, everybody. What's up, Ding?
I think their best deep ball guy is obviously Ben DiNucci.
Yeah. Or
the equivalent of Kendall Hinton, obviously.
Beast of Metal 1989. Oh, wait. Did I read that? No, I already read that. Beast of Metal 1989. The Johnsons are waiting for the end, all right, of 2022. In the meantime, they'll keep staring into Adam's gaze. I like that. And mistaking that for a meth high. They are high on meth. Johnsons. All right. We only got a couple more games, and then we can wrap this up. Packers and the Bears. I guess we're going to have a headphone warning here.
You will in a little bit.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and put the Packers at Jets level trash because you know he's about to pop his fucking head in there.
His ears are buzzing. Let's put them in there.
Even though we all know that the Packers are just walking off of the division. But yeah, they're Jets level trash because of Tom Grossi.
Okay.
And put the Bears at trash.
The Bears are trash. They're not.
I do have some.
Better.
I do have some news, and for that, I'm going to turn over to my news correspondent. Also, headphone warning.
All right. You might want to heed this warning, Mike. Like, it's about to get loud.
Yeah.
Mike heard it earlier.
Okay.
But anyway, here's our newsman. Great day to everybody in America! I'm your man, Alex Jones, and we're here at the NFC North Meme War News Desk Machine because we have a hot wire off the presses from our inside sources at Hallis Hall. Our hot wire today, for all of you in America, you need to sit down and listen closely. Because what we have here is a very, very important piece of news. A very important piece of news to give America hope again. To make America believe again. We have an inside source that just this afternoon, 1 hour and 11 minutes ago on Twitter, revealed that because the Bears thought they had a top 5 defense this year, and because the Bears thought the offense would be improved over last year, and neither of those things have clearly happened because of a deep state conspiracy being pushed on by the fucking Cheeseletariat. And you have to understand that we're still fighting the good fight against the state of Wisconsin. And that is that the inside source has revealed that George McCaskey is furious about the Bears' prospects this year and has even gone so far as to say that the entire organization is under review.
Oh, no.
So it is not just that Nagy is probably going to be fired. It is not only that Ryan Pace is very likely to be fired, but for all of you old-time Americans who have clearly know this name, Ted Phillips. One of the greasiest fucking accountants I've ever seen out there, and probably part of the lamestream media. Ted Phillips has been the president and CEO of our Bears since 1999. And he is, by trade, an accountant. He's not a football man at all. And he's been president of our Bears for 21 years. And in 21 years, the only time I can remember the Bears being anything remotely good, or at least passable so I don't drink myself into an early grave, is 2001, 05, 06, 10, and maybe 13. And 2018. If the firings reach and take Ted Phillips, then we in America can have hope again, and we in America can start to look towards a brighter future. And that'll be all. That's Alex Jones from the NFC North InfoWars desk. Have a great day, sleep tight, and God bless America.
All right, Alex. There you go. All right.
Godspeed, Alex Jones.
Very
Godspeed.
good. Thank you. So apparently Alex Jones wants all of the America leadership to be fired. He wants to drain the swamp, is what wants to happen.
Oh, God, he's wandered off just screaming about draining the swamp now.
So the Bears are trash. They are not getting any better. They are bad. They got whipped by the Packers, and they got 41 points put on them, and they looked bad.
I'll call it right now. We'll be 7-9 this season.
Mitch Trubisky will never be a starter again. He's gone by the way of Marcus Mariota, another number 2 overall pick.
Just remember, you could have had either Patrick Mahomes or John Watson.
I remember lots of things.
Nobody brings that up, though. I don't know why you're bringing that up, Evan. Nobody ever talks about that.
And you traded up. They traded up to get Mitchell Trubisky.
And I remember people were bitching about me for like ripping that trade and that draft pick the moment it was made.
Here's something I will say about Trubisky's future is that I think, and just call me crazy, I think a team like Seattle would be a good move for him.
Yeah, maybe he needs to learn from someone.
Because Pete Carroll is a better coach as far as coaching the entirety of the football team. And also that Seattle kind of plays a fast and loose game anyway. Mm-hmm. So if you teach Mitchell to just throw to the open man, that's all he has to do. He just has to find the open man. He doesn't have to think about throwing to a spot or calling out a scheme. He's just playing backyard football in Seattle.
True. All right. Well, let's not let the Bears monopolize our entire stream here. We all know that they're trash. Thank you for the
Yep.
update. Brain engaged. Third degree Top Gun for $19.99. Then thank you so much. Okay,
Thank you,
Coach
man.
Brom, I've been getting a little tired of us giving leads in the second half, but going that against Rutgers. You're on a short leash now, bud. I knew Purdue should have hired PJ Fleck when they had the chance. Where does PJ Fleck coach now?
Minnesota.
He's pretty good, right? He's decent. Who lost to Rutgers? Somebody lost.
Purdue.
Michigan State.
Michigan State also lost to Rutgers. That is embarrassing.
Well,
Rutgers
college football in general has been
trash.
embarrassing this year. They're just canceling a bunch of games outright, canceling a bunch of bowls. It's not even a real season.
Yeah. Blake Trout, Wentz, Roseman, and Peterson won't be gone this season, but on God, 2021 is their last chance. I'm getting impatient. I think Roseman
Peterson might be gone.
I think Peterson could easily be gone, but it's so hard. Like you fire a guy who won a Super Bowl, who delivered a Super Bowl to an aching city, their first one, and then that's how you treat them. You're supposed to
It's
give them the key to the
NFL,
city.
baby, not for long.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
How long are you going to sit there and prolong the suffering?
It's true. It's true.
I mean, Wentz is going to stay because he has guaranteed money, and they don't want to deal with the dead cap.
The Giants fired Coughlin, and he won 2 Super Bowls. Third degree Top Gun. On a separate note, Zach Edey is a monster. Congrats to him on earning the Big Ten Freshman of the Week for basketball. Boiler up. I'm glad college basketball is back. I'm glad. Mike, are you a big college basketball fan, or are you mostly NBA?
Mostly NBA.
Yeah. I like college basketball. I just like the passion of it.
I'll be watching the scout Cade Cunningham, though.
Gotcha. Tom F., I hope Darnold backs up Big Ben next year. Oh, God.
Oof, good luck.
How much isn't Sam Darnold making a pretty good, or is he still on his rookie deal?
I think he's on his rookie deal, but still, he's probably
so he's expendable. He's
he's in his third year. They're probably not going to add the 5th year of his option, so he's got 1 year left.
Yeah.
So, like, they're going to trade him.
Yeah. Mike Shaw, Sam Darnold might go to the Colts as far as Philadelphia. Maybe get rid of their strength and conditioning coach. Move on from Alshon Jeffrey, and Peterson and the GM needs to be held accountable. See, here's the thing. All right. And Dodge brought this up last week. The strength and conditioning coach, he's not responsible for injuries, right? Like, you don't get to be an NFL strength and conditioning coach if you don't know what you're doing, right? Can we all agree on that? Like,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't think that he's not stretching these guys out properly, or that he's not giving them the right exercises. Like, you do squats, you do all the things that you're supposed to, and freak shit happens and you get injured. Oh, there's Tom Grossi, everybody. There's Tom Grossi. Don't screenshot shit there, Tom. They are in the Jets level trash. Boom.
Hey, Tom, they're in the Jets level trash because you successfully hired Dom Capers 2.0 as your DC.
Wait. Hold on. Are you talking shit to Tom Grossi?
This was actually happened on his Friday night FAQ stream.
Okay. All right.
I sent him a $5. It said, "We'll probably lose, but enjoy having Dom Capers 2.0 as your DC."
Yeah. Okay.
And that one stunned him.
He just all he said was Trubisky. That's all. Yep.
Whatever.
Yep.
I'm used to losing at this point.
You're already dead. Black flag.
I'm already.
Darian just says Goff pays us for some reason. Darian? Why are you giving us money? You don't need to give us money.
Exactly.
Goff is getting
Jared
paid
Goff
elite
is your
money
Jim Everett. That's all he is.
just to be good. Yeah, Goff is overpaid. But there's no real system in the NFL to pay someone accordingly, right? Like, you either have to overpay. Yeah, go ahead.
There needs to be some general manager that breaks this mold that says, okay, Goff, you're average. Here's the amount that we're willing to give you. If not, we'll go in a different direction. I don't think it's that difficult as it once was, especially when you have McVay as your head coach, to find a quarterback that'll fit that system. So there needs to be a general manager that comes in and says and calls out the quarterback's bluff and lets them hit the open market as opposed to overpaying him.
It's also the agents too.
Yeah, the agents, the CBA lends itself to that. Like, it's so hard to operate within that framework. But I would say the NFL, all the major sports leagues with their contracts, it's not like any HR situation where, I mean, who has a contract at work?
Show me the money.
How many people have ever had a contract in your adult life to go to work?
No, I've been mostly just restaurant shit. You don't get contracts for that.
Yeah. You get a restaurant. They're like, all right, Steve, we see you're pretty good at waiting tables. We'd like to sign you for 3 years at
30,000
Denny's.
$11.95 an hour.
Pretty much. That's the contract.
I got signed by Denny's, guys.
Yep. I put it on Twitter. I'll do a note.
You
saying,
show up
like,
one day and they're like, look, we traded you to IHOP. You're going to have to pack up your shit and go down to the IHOP on Wilshire. And yeah.
IHOP has just traded for waiter Steve. In return, they give several bounds of pancakes,
And
dishes,
a dishwasher to be named
and
later.
also a kitchen manager to be named later.
That's right.
Denny's would still find a way to ruin IHOP pancakes.
I have to ask, Mike, did you have any regular jobs before becoming a YouTuber?
I was actually in dental school.
No way.
Yeah, I was in dental school, and I remember, like, I was in my first semester. I failed a 1-unit course, and they told me to, they said, okay, you're gonna have to come back and like retake the whole like semester again because of this 1-unit BS course. And there was like an in-between period, and I was already doing like YouTube kind of as like a hobby over the past decade.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to relaunch my YouTube channel, only this time, instead of doing like basketball gaming, which is what I started doing, I would just do basketball news. And I did it and it took off. And I was kind of like, it's kind of silly for me to, put this aside and go back when this seems to be a little bit more lucrative and has a higher ceiling.
Right. Put tongue depressors in people's mouth and watch them throw up. Yeah.
I mean, and they also have the top suicide rate in the, like, apparently out of all jobs. So
Dentists have the top suicide rate.
Dentists have like more pressure, I guess, because of the intensity of the operation. I would say it's probably more doctors and nurses, service industry.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Huh.
Yeah.
So you made a good move.
I mean, for now, for all you know, like in 5 years from now, YouTubers could be obsolete and TikTokers could be the new content creators taking over the world.
God, I would hate that.
No.
TikTok will die just like Vine did.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they'll go back to YouTube and they'll flood this shit.
I'm trying to squeeze every bit out of this YouTube orange that I can. Trust me.
We'll get another Jake
Trust me,
Paul
YouTube's probably going to
TikTok,
die
it'll be
eventually,
done.
or it'll be like an exclusive club.
Well, we better get there first.
Oh, don't
remember when you couldn't
worry. We'll get kicked off.
I would
eventually.
hate trying to start a YouTube channel now, though. Like,
it was tough back 4 years ago.
Oh
even.
yeah,
I
before
mean,
the
we just got lucky.
algorithm. Yeah. Alcide, Christmas time will eventually be here. Which team deserves the most charity? None of them do. None of the teams do. They all deserve what they get. Though I do feel bad for nobody. Mike Shaw, how high do you think McCarthy was on Thanksgiving with the play calling? There had to be a lot of meth smoked on the sideline. No, I think that's Mike McCarthy like every day. Stubborn.
Well, to be fair, Dallas did kind of smell like it had its head up its own ass the whole time we were there, even though they were playing Detroit.
So it's just like it's the smell of just like anus wafting. And it's their own. That's what Dallas kind of felt like on Thursday.
They put the turd in turducken.
Like, I am so sad for the people that paid thousands of dollars to watch that shit in person.
Oh my gosh.
People paid to go to those games?
Probably. I mean, they still have live fans there.
Apparently, it's pretty easy to get tickets. Like, I mean, Cole Adams went to the Giants game in Cincinnati.
Well, nobody gives a fuck about the Giants and Bungles.
True, but I mean, like, if you want to go to the game, I guess if you look hard enough, you can get tickets.
Yeah, like
an
Falcons
exclusive
tickets are
club.
low as 92. Like,
Right.
it depends on where it is. Like, Miami and Tennessee are probably
Jags
easier.
tickets.
Yeah.
Houston Texans
Jags
tickets are
tickets
like
are dirt cheap,
31
yeah.
bucks.
Yeah. Like they can't get people to come. Like it's not a privilege. Okay. Like, ooh, I get to watch the Jets play the Dolphins. Like, who gives a fuck? Spencer Young, Vikings are America's team in my heart anyway. Well, they're Spencer Young's team. They're not America's team. Alex Moreno, I wrote a poem for you guys. Roses are red. Oregon has beavers. Drew Lock sucks so bad he was benched for a wide receiver.
Oh.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. Fuck you. Idiocy 87. Friendly reminder that 25-year-old Ezekiel Elliott is barely edging out 35-year-old Adrian Peterson and 37-year-old Frank Gore in yards per carry. And
he probably has significantly more fumbles.
And Zeke's putting the ball on the turf. That fumble in the game was bad.
He's had nothing but fumbles in these games.
You said but.
He had a bunch against Philly. He had a bunch against Washington. He had a decent bit against Arizona.
Yeah.
So, like, it's been bad.
I don't know how you – like, does he go to the tiki barber, like, hold the ball up at his shoulder? Like, because, like, he's obviously very fixable, but I think he's putting, like, too much pressure on himself.
Well, because he doesn't have anything to work with, and now I think he's taking it upon himself to think that he's the only piece who can prop up this terrible offense.
Yeah.
I think he also doesn't have a line either.
Yeah, well, Zach Martin got hurt. I think
Martin's hurt. Cam Irving's hurt. Travis Frederick's been out. Tyron Smith's been out. Lyle Collins has been out. So that's 4/5 or your whole line right there.
Yeah, I feel...
Maybe they'll sign DeMarco Murray out of retirement.
Oh, I want them to sign Marion Barber.
Yeah, Marion Barber was a beast. I've never seen a guy so small, just so strong, and just outright just would hit people so hard.
And also the problem is those running backs that are so fun to watch, their careers are just so short because of the physical talent.
Now, you know who I want them to bring back? Troy Hambrick. Mm-hmm.
Troy?
Oh, my God.
Remember that guy? He was a back that he was neither a power or a speed back because he had neither power nor speed. Mike Shaw, Baker was already an underdog against Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Baker did not play too well. Okay. That's true. Baker got kind of crushed there in those games. Big T, Broncos fans here. My favorite part of our QB fiasco was Jerry Jones claiming our situation is no different than the Cowboys' issues with Ben DiNucci. Better luck next year, I guess. Yeah. Well, you know, when Jerry runs the NFL, his word is born. Golden Hybrid 258. 'Twas the night before Yinsmith.
The night before Yinsmith, and not a sight was heard.
Yes.
All the youngling in the world, and Permanis in the bird.
Right. No, I got to read this in the Yinzer voice. 'Twas the night before Yinsmith, and all through the house, the Yinzers gathered and said with their shouts, "The Steelers gone to Super Bowl." Didn't that guy get arrested?
Yes, he did. Again.
Carlos
What did
Ruiz.
he do this time?
Well, he confessed to killing his cellmate.
Oh my God.
Carlos
Again.
Ruiz. If Mahomes isn't in first in your MVP voting, you, sir, ma'am, deserve EDP's toilet plunger to the head. EDP's toilet plunger might be the most disgusting thing I can think of.
Maybe.
It's probably a super fun site.
Can you make the
find
argument
within
for
this
Derrick
bathroom.
Henry being MVP?
Imagine having to plunge a toilet after EDP has used it.
Oh, God.
It's a super fun site. It'll never be used again.
I remember one time I was in a Walmart. You know this is going to be a bad story when I just started off like that.
Walmart.
And
You
there
just
was
have
a
to
turd.
say that.
I went into the bathroom and there was a turd stuck in it was still remaining in the toilet. And I was like, oh, I guess someone forgot to flush. This turd was so big that even the flush did not even move it. It looked like a beverage can just stuck in there. I was like, I do not even want to know what human being left a beer can wide turd diameter in the toilet.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Randy Marsh when he gets the record for the world's biggest
How
crap.
many Kirks was it, bro?
It was thick.
It was 9.
Carlos Ruiz. Oh, wait. Golden Hybrid. If the Steelers beat Chiefs, do they win the Super Bowl? Are they playing later this year?
No, they aren't.
Oh, so they'd have to play them in the playoffs. Yeah, they would.
Yep.
I don't see anyone in the NFC East or in the NFC beating anyone in the AFC. It's pretty clear.
I agree.
It's pretty clear. Mike Shaw, Cowboys are tanking so Jerry Jones can have his team talked about in the media. I don't think that's the reason. Every Cowboys game, the
Jerry
cameras
would
focus on him an average of 10 games. Well, he's Jerry Jones. He's a lightning rod.
I don't think Jerry really is trying. I don't think the Cowboys are basically doing whatever it takes to get the media's attention. I don't think the entire team is built upon the premise of getting other individuals to discuss them, whether it's for bad or for negative or for positive. I think they're actually trying to put forward the best football product possible.
Oh yeah, I think the media is just a byproduct of them playing in Dallas and being America's team. The Simpsons since '90, the Rams are sus. If anyone loses to a decimated and displaced 49ers, you're sus. Don't at me.
Okay, come on. I mean,
no
the
snow
Cardinals
over
always
here in the
pulled off a
Silicon
good win
Valley.
against The Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Boo, boo,
boo. Golden Hybrid 258.
Economic jihad.
Me 5 points and Grassi go to Rory Dolan's. Is Rory Dolan's a restaurant? What's Rory Dolan's?
I'm not
get
sure.
The reference. Someone look at that up. Golden Hybrid again for $1.99. Tree, has anyone told you you look like young Ben?
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, you look like Ben now. You look like peak fat Ben. Tree.
He looks like Gary from Spy Kids 2 still.
Actually,
Maybe.
Tree, you look like Leo Messi. Or
Leo
Jared
Messi.
Goff.
Yeah.
Or Ryan Gosling. Fat Ryan Gosling. But Ryan
Less
Gosling.
pale Max Crosby.
Mike, who do people tell you look like?
Oh, dude. This is recent, actually. I get Denny Avdia, the 9th pick of the NBA draft, the Israeli guy.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Someone says that I look like Eric Avari. Do you know who that is? He's like a bit actor. Here, I'll bring him up on screen.
You look more like Howie Mandel without the earring.
I look like Joe Coy.
You do look like Joe Coy.
Yes. I
get Jack Black every once in a while.
I saw Sean Marion on a plane to Vegas, and he nodded at me like he knew me, and I think he thought that I was Joe Coy. Because I was like, why is Sean Marion giving me a head nod? Like, I was like, I barely.
People say I look like Esqueleto.
Yeah, there's Eric Avari back there. Gosh, I'm old. If people are saying I look like this dude, I'm fucking getting old, man. Look at. Wait, let me try to imitate this face right here. Oh, I gotta turn my head.
Actually, Baldy, you kind of look like David Draymond from Disturbed a little bit, just without the little chin piercing thing.
Draymond. Oh, I used to get told I look like Tiger Woods. Yeah, I don't know. Bald and with the beard is not qualification for looking like me, because a lot of people are bald with beards. Okay. Beast of Metal 1989. If success equals paying. Oh wait, no, I skipped Daniel Frussalone. No, I skipped I'm a Random Guy. Tree, you read I'm a Random Guy. Read the next 4. You're
all right.
Doing
I'm a random
work over there.
Oh, be quiet. I'm too busy jacking off. I'm a random guy for 5. The Browns are pulling a Thanos and get to the playoffs, all for the cost of a pandemic. Did they take out half the teams yet?
Ooh.
Maybe.
Gotta have half.
Daniel Frussalone. I probably butchered that. I'm sorry. For college basketball is back, and my Bradley Braves are looking good in the MVC. Bradley. Not bad.
MVC.
They made the tournament a couple times, right?
MVC in Northern Virginia was a porn shop. That was the name. Midnight Video Club.
Beast of Metal 1989 for 10. If success equals paying Tavares $11 million per year for 7 years to become pro hockey's buttery spread, then Toronto is amazing. I ask again, more fucked Shanna plan. Kyle's game plans are Brendan's long-term vision. Well, Toronto does want Dupes fired. Phil Michaels for 5. What would be a bigger butt fumble? The Jets going 0-16 or the Jets winning their last 2 games and losing the number 1 pick? Easily the latter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Going 0-16, like look, Cleveland's already has a winning season. The Lions, yes, they went 0-16, but they were in the playoffs, 3 years after that? 0-16 and clinching a number 1 overall is way better than fucking up the number 1. Trust me, the Giants are feeling it this year by not losing to the Skins on the last game of the season.
Yep.
We could have
Mike Shaw for 5. Guy from the 49ers had the most awkward-looking pick six I've ever seen. Jared Goff needs to learn to take a sack without the damn fumbles.
A lot of
QBs. That's on
a lot of QBs. Daniel Jones is honestly like that still. Beast of Metal 1989. Just an FYI, I got sample Nats gear from my manufacturer about an hour ago, but half of it dissolved in transit. Feels appropriate at the least.
Oh, that's funny. I get it.
C. Reynolds for 2. Someone kicked John Harbaugh in the nads. DQ Baltimore. Maybe. Tom F for 5. We got a rare Peter meme sighting this week. Also, where do y'all think Darnold ends up? I'm calling Steelers. I think Darnold just ends up like whomever's going to take his salary.
Yeah.
The Broncos.
I wonder if he goes to
He
New
could
England.
go to the Broncos.
Belichick did.
He could.
I think
could go to New
Elway.
England.
He fits the Elway archetype. Elway would love some
Tall
Sam
what?
Darnold.
Yeah.
Tall, white, and arm power. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Uncultured
I can tame
barbarian.
him. I can tame him. That's what Elway's thinking right now.
Oh, yeah. He tried it with a certain Paxton Lynch, too.
did, yeah.
Uncultured barbarian for 5. Bears are so bad this season, it's almost no fun to rip on them anymore. Just
They
almost.
started out 5-0.
Yeah, well, 5-1.
5-1.
Yeah.
5-1.
Well, it's because they got lucky. If you
That's
look
true.
at like the way they won their record, I mean, Lions choked, Falcons choked. They played the Giants, Tampa Bay. Tom Brady didn't know what the fuck which down it was, and I think they played Washington.
Yeah. Keep her going. We gotta
No,
get
the
through
other
these.
one was.
Yep, Ethan Ward for 5. One of the best deep ball yeeters ever is Randall Cunningham. Chucks it like a javelin. Also, hell of a punter, 2-time All-American punter at UNLV.
I did not know that. I did not know that Randall
He
Cunningham
was. I
a
think
punter.
he
was a
punted
beast.
like 80 yards in the NFL one time.
Really?
I think Randall Cunningham is the reason punt, pass, and kick exists.
Really? I could
I was
never
just saying that
punt.
to be facetious.
I always played goalie in soccer, but I could never kick the ball. I was terrible at that.
I was the shag.
Makai Wilson for 5. Boston alert. I repeat, Boston alert. This is not a drill. The New England Revolution have made the MLS semifinals. Columbus, please save us.
Ooh. The Revolution are like the Knicks of the MLS, right? They just suck ass.
Alex Moreno, who's in this chat right now. Trubisky tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it never even mattered. They had to drink to lose it all, but in the end, it never even mattered. Sorry. Max Cochran with a 20. Hi, Tree. Hot 5 points. How are you guys?
Good.
Hope all is well. I'm disappointed in my Chargers with them wasting a future star in the NFL and Justin Herbert. I hope a new coaching staff and healthy squad will change things. Problem is, it's the Chargers. It's never goes well for them,
It's the
unfortunately.
Chargers. The Chargers they've never won. Like the only time I remember them being any good was when they got to the Super Bowl with Sam Humphries and they got blown the fuck out, and then they wasted 14-2 season after 14-2 season.
Steve X Clacks for 5. Is there any news on the NHL's next season? Go Stars.
Starts in
No,
January.
unfortunately not. They
Yep.
seem like they're at an impasse right now.
They're gonna play.
Yeah, they'll play. It's just it's going to be like a little butting of heads because I think the NHL's problem is the majority of their revenue comes from
Attendance.
concessions, ticket sales.
Yeah.
But guess what's not happening? Nobody's attending games.
We just need that vaccine. You need to shoot RNA. You know what? I just realized the vaccine is just COVID. They're just gonna
Pretty
give you
much. It's
COVID.
just a little bit of COVID. That's all it is.
Yeah.
The problem is, does it react
The
badly?
only way to
So-
not get it is to have it. Isn't
Pretty much.
that amazing?
Marquez Riley for 5. Sony is making a ton of money. Also, the new NASCAR Gen 6 looks good. Kind of getting tired of seeing these commercials on the Georgia Senates. Oh, you in Georgia?
Yeah.
Oh, you poor
Yeah.
bastard. And Sony, I think it's just like this. They're keeping the supply low so people like pound
I
themselves.
don't think so. I think they want to sell as many of those fuckers as they want. Mike, do you have a PS6 or whatever, PS5?
I do.
You were giving some away. How'd you cop one?
It was one night where I was in my room, literally like a madman, refreshing, and buying. I was able to get a hold of 5.
Damn.
Wow. Do you
Wow.
have any left?
5. Are you want? Do you
know.
have a bot that has 50 in your background? And you're just not telling us.
Yeah.
I honestly wish I knew how to do that. I really wish I knew how to do that because I would definitely flip PS5s and make a killing that way, or just give a bunch more away on my channel. But no, I have no idea how to set up a bot.
Do you have any left? Because I'll slide you a G for one.
No.
They might make the
I'll
bots
PayPal you
illegal in
that
my state
shit.
now.
They're gonna.
Keep her going,
They're
Tree.
Yeah, they have to.
I mean, I don't really hate on the people like buying it legitimately and flipping them, but like I think the bots are a little bit overkill.
Yeah, that's scummy. That's a
you
little
know,
scummy.
like if you're able to get your hands on like 2 or 3 and you flip them for a G, yeah, more power to you. But like the bots is ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's
Find
like
the 40.
that's like for the people who go to like a Walmart in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, where the Walmart got like 5 units and the locals only bought 1.
Yeah, well,
I never thought it would, when I was buying it, like one of my friends, Get Like Coop, was like messaging me like a madman saying, "Oh my God, Target went live, Best Buy went live." And I was like, dude, like chill, night of, I'm just going to go and get one. He's like, you don't get it. It's not like that anymore.
yeah.
It's like super limited release. It's a very interesting strategy because, you know, and I know I'm probably going to trigger a bunch of people here. I played multiple games on it. And the technology isn't as big of a jump up from like when we went from Xbox 360s to the PS4, you know,
Right.
or PS3 to PS4, or the PS2 to PS3. It's a very marginal jump in technology, in my opinion, which is probably going to trigger a bunch of people here.
No, I just think like, what is the limit? Like, I mean, how far can we go with these games? The games are already amazing. And if you grew up like me and Tree playing on an 8-bit Nintendo and shit, or even me on an Atari, like it's good enough. Like I don't think I ever could imagine like or conceptualize how good the games are now. And I guess
Did you guys ever get a Sega Dreamcast?
No,
I never had a Dreamcast. No.
Dreamcast. I had a Dreamcast. The controller was the most awkward thing ever.
Yes.
It was like this boat.
It
that
looked
you
so
played with.
weird. It looked like a like an affiliated cell phone.
But
trying
I'm saying
to be
like
some sort of hydrofoil.
How I haven't really seen any games that have blown me away, Mike, and you're just confirming what I thought is that it's not a huge leap. But I want it because I want to be on the next system. I want to be on the system that they're developing for. And I'm sure that with that computing power, they could build like, you know, they might build an open world game, which is the entire world at some point, right? Like
at some point, yeah.
Yeah.
If you play like NBA 2K right now, one of the most absurd features that they have is this concept called, it used to be called the neighborhood. It's now called the city. And pretty much when you want to go buy clothes for your guy, you have to like, you're placed in this open world and you have to actually physically like skateboard to the store to purchase it, which
That is so stupid.
It's a cute concept, but such a waste of like what you could be doing with that, you know,
Right.
like that.
Yeah, it's just an overusing of the capability, right?
In my opinion, yeah. But at the same time, like they have a Hogwarts game coming out that looks pretty sweet. I'm sure that it's only a matter of time before Rockstar drops a new Grand Theft Auto. Demon Souls looks pretty chill. Games did just come out. The problem is I'm also a pretty big sports guy.
Yeah.
And you know, like I haven't had a decent football game to play in, I don't know, 15 years. Madden just consistently gets worse and worse.
I know it hurts.
Like, I don't.
Right.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I love Madden and I can't play it because I just know that it's gonna cause me to break things and I don't want to do that. Like, I already have trouble playing NHL without like today I played somebody. He got up 2-1 with 12 minutes left in the third period and he ran into his own zone the whole time. And like, no matter what you do, you could turn all the sliders up and try to fully forecheck. Your players will not chase into the zone. It's bullshit. Anyways, where'd you stop, Tree?
Oh, let me take a look here. I stopped at
The
Marquez
rake.
Riley. So we're at the rake.
Okay, read. Go ahead.
All right. So, Tree, are we seeing the emergence of Terrell Edmonds at safety, or is it false hope? I don't know.
Yeah, he's making.
It's too
fun
early.
of you.
I can't tell right now. We'll see after Baltimore. He mainly had one great game, but we'll see what happens if they even play tomorrow. Keyword is if. word on that later. Craig Kramer, the only person more incompetent than Adam Gase is Roger Goodell, which says a lot about Adam Gase. Well, Roger Goodell's actually really good at his main job, and that's generating money for the owners. So that's why.
I wish I was that good at my job. And
Oh yeah,
myself.
like in terms of everything else, he's fucking horrible. But in terms of making that money, he's never losing his job.
Yeah. He's like Dan Snyder.
Mm-hmm. Hailstorm. If the Steelers go 16-0, what are the chances Big Ben wins MVP? None. It's going to be Mahomes or Derrick Henry easily before him. He doesn't even win comeback player of the year. That goes down.
Would Big Ben even be? Is he the most valuable player on the Steelers?
Yes.
Honestly, maybe the offense, but like defensively, I mean,
Minka
maybe. TJ Watt.
TJ Watt has been very valuable. I'll say so. Okay. Keep her going.
The Rake for 5. I swear Ben's face is a common face in Western PA. This coming from someone who's told Daily I look like him.
That sucks. Of all the people you want to look like, Ben is not the person you want to look like. No, you don't ever want someone to come up to you and be like, "Hey, you look like Ben Roethlisberger," and you're like, "Fuck." It's like someone coming up to me and being like, "You look like Eric Avari." Do you know that?
Mm-hmm. GN Tree, what do you like the most and least about Pittsburgh, generally speaking? I'd say the most, it's accessible. It's not overly huge. There's enough to do. I mean, it's not like a huge city in that term. Least, I'd probably say sometimes like traffic and like grid can get really fucked up, like annoying.
I thought that Pittsburgh, when I visited, it was really cool. It's pretty easy to get downtown.
Exactly. Very accessible.
Yeah, very accessible. Like New York, it takes forever to just get in the center of Manhattan. LA is so spread out, but I like LA too. LA is pretty fun. But Chicago is also a mess to get down.
Chicago's not bad once you get there. There's ample parking. It's just expensive as hell.
It's true. But it seemed really easy just to get into Pittsburgh. Like I was like, holy shit, we're like in the middle of Pittsburgh. Like that was not bad at all. All right.
Yep.
Last two.
Golden Hybrid 258. Breaking news: the Yinzer has been released from jail for annoying the guards. Reports say he kept talking about a Yahtzee game he had with his mother. I don't know about that. I mean, he probably would kill the guards for making fun of the Yahtzee. And finally, Craig Kramer for $2.99. NASCAR Racing 2003 is the most realistic sports game in 2020.
That's a 17-year-old game.
I would say NFL 2K5 is
wait. I just got the nicest compliment. FPV looks like Johnny Sins with facial hair. I'll take that. I'll put that in the bank right there.
Put that on your Twitter.
I wish I looked like him below the waist. Hey now.
Are you sure that's not your burner account, buddy?
Who here hasn't seen Johnny Sins' cack? All of us. Right. It's bad. It's bad that you know that most of us could probably pick out Johnny Sins' body without his face, like in a lineup.
Oh my God.
Like, oh, that's Johnny Sins right there. I know, because I've seen it from his perspective many times. Seahawks and Eagles. Let's finish this up.
About time.
Right. Oh, there you are, Dodge. You ready to cry about how your team is trash because they're going in trash?
They hardcore trash.
And we'll put Seahawks in Super Bowl.
I have absolutely no tears left for this football team for the rest of this year.
Johnson & Johnson.
We know what we have to do. We need an offensive line, like I've been saying all freaking season. Our strength and conditioning coach needs to be fired out of a cannon into the Delaware River. And this last night was not entirely Carson's fault.
I can agree with that.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
He needs a line to protect him, and Doug Peterson needs to stop doing stupid shit. That's the reason that we're sniffing the basement of the NFC East.
But be careful.
That is unacceptable.
He needs to put in Jalen Hurts for 2 whole plays.
I was about to say Hayden Hurst. Get him we need a friggin' tight end. Get him up here. But
Jalen Hurts is not the answer. You gonna tell me that Jalen Hurts is better than Carson Wentz?
No, I don't think Jalen Hurts.
I think that was a puzzling pick to begin with. I know you liked it at the time of the draft, Dodge, but I'm like, what?
I still think that. Who would you rather we have as Carson's backup? Freaking kissing titties?
You
No,
could
thank
find
you.
somebody in free agency that was still available.
Somebody was saying that the Eagles should pick up Trubisky. What kind of crack are you smoking?
They should have picked up.
Okay.
They should have picked up some guy named Nick Foles. He would have been all right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nick,
he's got no history there at all.
I'm going to be anguishing over that choice for a very long time.
Yeah, it happens. All right, what's your conclusion, Dodge? What have you arrived at?
I love my birds. I will until the day that I die. Something, Eagles can let me down one more time at my funeral, something.
Wow, this is an NFC East invasion tonight. We've got Cowboys, Giants, and Eagles. All we need is a football team fan, and we could get this party started. I usually feel like it's an AFC North party.
The only football team fan I know has completely disowned the team until Dan Snyder is in the grave.
Yeah, I married one, so she refuses. She has some ties to Native Americans. She's pissed that they changed the name.
I don't blame her for it.
Yeah.
But
all right,
I love my birds, but they gotta go in the trash right now. I'm not happy.
You need a new coach. I think he's
no shit.
I think he worn out his welcome. I think you should.
Is there an afterburn tonight?
Unfortunately not because of scheduling conflicts, but there will be one tomorrow, and it will be an extra hour in the ball pit. BALPIT, ball pit.
Oh God, I know that.
Hey, Mike, we're ending right now, by the way. So
yeah, jump in the pit.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because of scheduling conflicts, the afterbird will be tomorrow night, immediately following the Steelers game.
All right. Mike's got to run, so let's finish the tier maker. We forgot to put the Patriots in sus. The Ravens are wild card-ish or sus. Steelers are Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
And Cardinals are wild card. All right. Well, that's it. We made it to the end of the show. Mike, thank you so much for coming on. Unless you left
it's an
already.
honor to be here.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for coming on.
We need to collab on something. Let's think about this in the future because our content is like super similar. Like, maybe I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll DM. Yeah. But thank you so much for coming on, and everyone. His link to both his channels are in the description for the show. But if you want to throw it in the chat, I'll
drop my link as well.
Yes, in the chat. But thanks again for coming by, and you did a great job. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, Tree. Any final thoughts before we?
Not really. I have some sports ball news.
Wait, the video.
I've got some plans for it. It might be delayed till Thursday because of Steelers. Yeah, it'd be nice, but we'll watch this vid.
All right, yeah, we'll watch this video and close out the show with this. All right. Thank you everyone for coming to the show. And here is the year of the apocalypse. Oh wait, I need to turn that off. Peace, everybody. Whoop.
Peace.
There we go. Here we go.
Only know a Jenner when she is a hole.
Only know Joe Flacco when he overthrows.
Joe Flacco doesn't overthrow. He underthrows. Come on. He's a check down man.
Staring at receivers like a tart. They're walking the sidelines full of sharp. Couldn't make the Ravens pay a mud. They got a running back playing clutch. He wanted all his money in a lump. Now he's just a backup in a dump.
But you only take a shit when you gotta go.
Only know a Jenner when she is the hole. Only know Joe Flacco when he overthrows.
I must get my hands on those healthy Bravo berries.
And the overthrow.
Losing to the Titans was a punt. Derrick Henry and their defense just were lunch. Lamar Jackson is a running back. He's easily faster than a Pontiac. We all know the Steelers love this part, but Permanente smells like fart.
But you only take a shit when you gotta go.
Only know a Jenner when she is a hole. Only know Joe Flacco when he overthrows.
I must get my hands on those healthy Bravo berries.
You only know about the Vegas when he hits a low. You only know the subway when it smells like P.O. You only know Baldy when he's bunching growth. And he's bunching growth.